How do you get to Wonderland? Over the hill or Underland or just behind the tree? Hey, y'all, come on in. You're here on a great day.
We're heading down the rabbit hole today with the help of 345 Soap.
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
But on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
We are the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, y'all, come on in. Happy Easter, and thank you for finding our little barbershop. If you happen to be here during one of the live premieres on YouTube, why, come on in the live chat. Meet the Whiff Pack. Cool group of friends hanging out from all over the world. They'd love to meet you too.
They would, and for our mention today, Marcus would like to talk about his new favorite treat.
This is a recipe for Hawaiian mac salad. Now, you have to use Best Foods or Hellmann's mayonnaise. They are the same, and it's not tropical. It's not what you think. It's the carrot, it's the onion, it's the apple cider vinegar that's in there in a trace amount, but it does magical things on a chemistry level. And the only caveat is once you mix it all together, you gotta cover it with saran wrap and put it in the fridge, and don't touch it. Don't touch it until the next day. I know, but it has taught me a Zen master level of patience. And what is our soap today?
We have rabbit hole for you today. Let's meet it.
Ding. Namaste. All right, from the sales page at 345soap.com.
Come with me down the traditional shaving rabbit hole. Let's go on an adventure of a lifetime, exploring wonderful scents, soaps, and exquisite, fantastical adventures with friends. Rabbit hole will bring a head-turner of a scent. You'll keep coming back, trying to find each note, only to lose it while chasing another.
Scent notes are going to be quite fun for this adventure, popping the top with fresh pomegranate. This will be a fresh vibe not seen before, with crisp, tart, and fruit freshness. It's rounded on the bottom with cedar, patchouli, and tonka bean, with exquisite but subtle leather and rolled tobacco notes to subdue the tartness of the pomegranate.
There's a lot more going on here than I thought. I gotta say, once I saw the label, I thought it was just like vetiver. I was thinking rabbitness, but there is way more happening.
Well, I was catching on to like the summer fruit freshness at the top, but then that goes down into leather and tobacco. Y'all, this is going to be an ascension all the way down to the locked door at the bottom. Let's open the box. Pro tip, put $25 a month into a jar next to your shaving gear and label it Black Friday, because there are some amazing sales and deals and discounts, including this year's at 345, where we picked up this little beauty, which you have come to see today, but you did not see Speakeasy. This was suggested by Doug Lane, and you did not see Nautical Betty. We're saving that for the beginning of summer. But they did give us a Ziggy Piggy, Ziggy Piggy, Ziggy Piggy. Marcus, lay off the mac salad. Well, a little song, a little dance, a little seltzer down my pants. Come along with us. I'm going to take this first. Releve, dink, aces over eights. 345 makes some of our absolute favorite scents in the wet shaving world, so I'm excited to experience this one. All right, here we go. Taking it in. There's the pour. Those who like to see such things. And I'm about to follow this rabbit.
Dive down.
All right, taking it in.
Yeah?
I now understand the sales page of you're going to come back over and over looking for these notes, not sure if you're finding them. It opens up with something fruity. Okay. Beautiful pomegranate. I thought, okay, summer, spring scent. Yeah. Here we go. We're going on a picnic. Oh, nay, nay. As soon as that washes over you, it descends like a riptide, and you're left with things that are a little bit more masculine. The tobacco, the leather, a lot more spicy. The fruit almost vanishes. It's almost like falling past different scent notes, and then they disappear and you land on new ones. Y'all. But it's not like a smoky pomegranate, is it? Yeah, it kind of is.
Okay.
Hold on a sec, y'all. Oh, this is fabulous. For me, this is exactly what Wonderland would smell like. I don't get tea and bergamot in my imagination when I smell Wonderland, but most people go there because of the Mad Tea Party. This is everything else. This is the Cheshire Cat.
Ah, the journey to all of that.
Y'all. Well, just because I get the pinks of the pomegranate and then the dark purples of the tobacco and the smoke. I can see his stripes. And it makes sense. The caterpillar had a hookah. Who are you? The smoke, the tobacco. It's in here. It's mysterious and familiar. It's spooky and congenial. It's friendly. And you might end up like the oysters, y'all.
Do you feel like you have a clock around your neck that you're running all over the place?
No, but I don't mind being late anywhere as long as I can keep enjoying the shade with this.
There you go.
And here's what's cool. The pomegranate does not read fruity because, as it said, right before it gets to be tart, that part is arrested. So it almost reads like the best friend house scent that I have been searching out, where she used carpet fresh when she vacuumed, and all the stuff they had in their laundry room was way more expensive than the stuff we had in our laundry room. That's the opening fruity sense of this. And then this really does descend into something beautiful, absolutely contrasting, and definitively masculine. Wow. Some magic trick being done here, y'all. See, and then when you go back up for the fruity, you get sherbet. It becomes like ice creamy. There's a bit of a lactonic in it, and then that turns you back around and descends you back down into the depths, where this time it's not tobacco. This time you hit leather. This is like a kaleidoscope. And what I love is it's tobacco taken to the point of a wisp of smoke. A lot of times it's just a leaf. A lot of times it's just a flower.
Right.
No. This is the cigar. This is the cigarette, and it's been freshly lit. There's something delicately floral in the middle, but just to be a little bit of a bridge between that pomegranate and those really deep, syrupy, sweet, dark notes. Okay, the leather's clean. The tobacco is dirty. I'm getting almost a new car suede from the leather. And then, like I said, the tobacco has that freshly lit spark of a cigarette in 1986. I mean, it's wild. It's layered. The first one's almost a luxury lotion. The second one is a fabulous hotel lobby somewhere in the Bahamas. The third one is a gentleman's study. Deep and rich oranges and browns and woods and spices. And you know what's funny? It's very sweet, but it doesn't hit like the sweet part of my brain. My brain's like, oh, that's as sweet as that needs to be. Got it. The raspberry from your favorite candy grown up mixed with an actual raspberry in your Danish at the Four Seasons way overpriced breakfast buffet. And then again, that totally changes gears and takes you down into a tobacconist or a leather goods store in the basement of a department store. Maybe Wanamaker's. They have an organ. It's got kind of a New York vibe to me somehow. I'm seeing strawberry fields. I'm seeing the Dakota. It's the outside part of Tavern on the Green. That's what this smells like during their breakfast Easter brunch. And hey, there's no smoking because somebody's smoking. And boy, both soaps we covered today, we had no idea what the scent notes were or what they were going to smell like. And both of these are exceptional charmers. And on top of it all is a sense of childhood. On top of it all is a sense of sugary sweetness, cotton candy, lightness, linen from Alice's dress. Like the top layer is that green field where she was reading poetry with her sister. But all of the rest of this, you're going to have to ask yourself, are you a part of the Red King's dream? Or is he a part of yours? All right, are you ready to follow this rabbit wherever he's wanting to take you? Because I would suggest you go with him.
You know, I was in a dance in college that I did play Alice. I know we've mentioned it before, but I always forget because all the different characters that came into it, and my friend that played the Mad Hatter on one side, on the back was the rabbit. So he'd face forward in the audience, Bobby that you met at the wedding, and then face backwards, and he was the Mad Hatter. So it was kind of a fun flip around, cool twist on the character. But I do feel like all the scent notes that you were bringing up are kind of like what his was, because on the front was the kind of crazier Mad Hatter side, but on the back was the super serious rabbit clock time maker kind of thing.
Exactly.
Okay, let's see.
Curious which one she finds first.
Oh, I totally get that smoky kind of thing. Hit there. Okay, but it hits the leather for me more than the tobacco.
Gotcha.
Oh.
See, she's going to have to climb up to find the pomegranate. I had to crash clean through it.
Yeah, I really get the smoky, not tobacco smoke, but it is like something just got lit a little bit. And then it hits the leather for me. So it starts way more masculine than I was expecting by how you were explaining things. And then I get the vetiver-ish, outdoorsy kind of vibe. Like, I really do get, like, the first half of the movie, this kind of scary off-kilter kind of side hits me first. Let me see if I can find the little more charming pomegranate side.
Yeah. You see, I started with Alice. She started with the caterpillar. But the sales page said that. It said you're going to go round and round with these scent notes, and it's not kidding.
Yeah, I feel like once we lather, it is going to completely change. So I think we have like maybe 3 soaps that have pomegranate in it, and they definitely hit hard with the pomegranate first. This is more subtle. Like I think I used to get a pomegranate white tea a lot of the times when I lived in Southern California, and there's something about that lighter, brighter side of the pomegranate that makes it less sharp. Right. Like it's pretty tart. It's kind of in that cherry kind of zone. Yes. I'm not getting that here, but I'm getting a brightness coming through. So I think that's the strategy of how it's being used somehow. So you know how cherry and almond in the perfuming world can kind of switch places sometimes? Yeah. I think that's what's happening with the leather and the pomegranate for me. Like I find it as the leather. And then if I keep going, it kind of flips. And then I feel like on my exit whiff, I catch the pomegranate. But they're not, it does have that like movement thing happening, like the kind of spiralness on the label. That's what's happening. Like when I think I find it, then it jumps and switches places. Like it's almost like when you have a filter on the screen and all the blues turn to green, and then you flip like the negative of something. Like that's kind of what's happening in a scent frame of mind for me.
Well, Tom Ford would remind you that ombre leather is kind of a raspberry-ish note, so that would make sense. Maybe pomegranate leather do kind of have a do-si-do in the perfuming world.
I don't know why the image of going down the rabbit hole seemed like it would be much darker at the bottom for some reason. Like when she first falls in, like it was almost like that panic I was just expecting to come through. But the way that the leather kind of puts a cap on the base, then everything above it is kind of brighter. If you follow the smokier side, it does have a little bit more of that green vetiver-ish kind of thing coming through for me. And then it jumps into not gourmandy, not sweet, but there is something bright. And I think that's more the pomegranate kind of lane is taking me back out of the rabbit hole.
If there is a floral in this, it is brilliant how the pomegranate and the floral are coming together to both sweeten the pomegranate and take the tartness off of it before it descends down into the leather. And I am so excited that you do not get the pomegranate, because that's the first thing my nose runs into. This is cool. Well, it speaks to the complexity of the blend.
Maybe once it's lathered, my brain will be able to find its way in differently, but I kind of like that we're getting totally different experiences of the same soap, which is kind of its goal according to the sales page.
Now, much like Burlington, which we did declare a masterpiece, I can sense the thumbprint of the perfumer in this. The same freeway, but incredibly different lanes.
And technically, this came out last season, but we missed it. So I'm kind of glad we finally got our noses on it to understand why people are like, no, but it really does fit that spring fun kind of lane.
There are tobacco scents that take me to those walk-in humidors in tobacco stores in some of those beautiful cities where we would go on funeral director conventions. But then there's the sense of tobacco if your grandfather smokes a pipe, if your grandfather smokes cigars, if your favorite uncles like to get together and play poker and smoke those filterless cigarettes that you're always warning them about, there is something about that tobacco that they have caressed until it is the perfect addition to a pomegranate in this. And I love that it's the dirty, smoked, smoky side of tobacco that they're bringing through for this. A little bit of a callback to the caterpillar, I think, and not the spicy, clean humidor kind of version of tobacco. I think that's important in this.
There is more of a masculine side to this than I was expecting, but I'm actually enjoying it because most of the ones that kind of throw a little hint towards Alice in Wonderland go a little sweeter, a little like more on the feminine-ish side. Right. This one to me does come across as more masculine on my first whiff.
Right. Well, come along with us, y'all. There's a bottle on that table that says "Drink Me," and we are seriously considering it. All right, y'all, from the sales page at 345 Soap, we start with pop in the top with fresh pomegranate, and that's definitely what I get when I take this in first. I think it's a little bit of an homage to Alice herself and a little bit of clean cotton for even that beautiful blue and white dress that she wore down the rabbit hole. And then things get crazy. This will be a fresh vibe not seen before. Funny. It's absolutely true. This is tobacco and leather, but it reads fresh.
It does.
Is that crazy?
It's that clean side still coming through.
It's rounded on the bottom with cedar, patchouli, and tonka bean. Tonka bean is what gives this a little bit of its natural sense, a subtle sense of hay, and then the coumarin inside to keep it clean and masculine and dignified. And then that's going to be pulled against by a rather earthy but subtle patchouli in the middle of this. And then cedar. Do you get the cedar?
See, I do get light colors to this, but I didn't know where it was coming from. And I think that's where my brain was creating like a vetiver-ish thing, was adding the cedar with the patchouli next to like the leathery stuff that's coming up. It created more of that ruggedness than I was expecting.
The patchouli is just the twing that you get from barbershops, you know?
Then we have exquisite but subtle leather and rolled tobacco notes that subdue this tartness of the pomegranate. All right, this is my 2-color custom bowl from Vanulay. These are the ones that I chose on the magic she created, and my Herald brush, the yellow one from the Razor Company.
And it's a little bit of a bite back to this, not one of our softest soaps, and I'm just going to gently press it into the honeycomb holders of this resin bowl. Now we're going to hit it with a little water from the bougie sprayer, and Sarah's going to go ham on it. Now, how are you going to transfer that soap up onto your bristles without building a giant foamy lather first?
So I'm going to move the water to the other side of the bowl and then take my dry brush over to the soapy side of the bowl and start digging into those little honeycombs, going one direction and the other direction, just trying to sneak it onto the bristles. And then I'm going to turn my brush about 25% and keep going one direction and the other as I keep digging into those little divots here.
I think we actually have 2 soaps that are an homage to the Persephone myth. Those are definitely pomegranate.
And then once I've got most of the soap out of the little divots there, I'm going to add some water into that final part of building our lather, and you can already see it is waking up. I'm definitely getting a little more sweetness coming out,
gotcha.
and the pomegranate, not too tart, but I think that's why I almost couldn't find it as well first, because it does have a little more, almost approaching a berry kind of vibe.
Berry.
But I still really get that kind of leather into the rolled tobacco side hanging for me here.
More and more every time I smell it. Boy, 345 has got it going on. Gotta tell
We
you.
do have them coming on to our Instagram Live in April here, so check it out.
That'll be fun. Get to know them a little better.
All right, y'all. I know we never talk about lather, but it is ready.
Y'all, a little heart, a little soul, a little yogurt in your bowl. And this is something you will only find here on the Barbershop Duet. This is the Walrus and the Carpenter with On 3, 1, 2. That's the Walrus. Oh, that's the Carpenter.
I do get a little more of the tart approaching side of pomegranate here. It just brightens it up and adds a little bit more of that fun kind of character.
It's just a tiny bit less sweet here, but what's cool is the entire character of that concentrate is in this lather.
I still think I do find the leather and smokiness first, and then I can find the pomegranate around the backside.
After we were done with our barbecue chicken out on the picnic grounds at the ranch house, we used to crack open pomegranates right from the tree and have those for dessert.
They are kind of a pain in the butt to eat, I'm not gonna lie.
Well, so is that ranch house. There were like 900 daddy long legs in the bathroom. Why do I not care if there are 900 daddy long legs in the bathroom, but one mosquito eater in our bedroom last night? I'm like, nope, I am not going to bed in this room until you get it out.
I got it, but it was as big as my hand, I'm not gonna lie.
It was dive bombing us.
Even the 2 dogs were like, what is happening
Lainey,
right now?
who usually hunts them, was like, I'm out. That's too big for me.
And Scout didn't know what was happening. He's like, is this normal at your house? What is going on,
We're
y'all?
babysitting Scout. He will usually tell us when there's a fly anywhere near his vicinity, but this, he was like, no, I don't do that.
I'm too tired for this. I can't deal with it. We all survived the evening. Thankfully, I saved the day.
It's almost sandalwoody.
Okay.
Where that fruit meets the leather and the spice and the tobacco.
Yeah.
That's wild. And hey, gather up your quarters. We have it on good authority that Angelo at the Shave Arcade may be releasing another video soon. But until he does, to tide you over, we thought you might like to see how this lather
It's losing hair.
ping
Harold lost his hair.
and covers a money maker. It's okay. If you've seen Ken's head, you know why that hair falls out a little bit. Y'all, I am putting it all over because I want the full experience here. This is wild.
It does take me outdoors, but it does keep me off kilter. Like, I really am not sure if something's chasing me or if I'm chasing something.
She's not wrong. The bottom layers of this are spooky. This would be a great Halloween scent, actually, with a slightly different label. Yeah.
In disguise?
Right.
Yeah.
Did you ever read Alice in Wonderland, or was it just a Disney movie?
I did not read it. I've seen the cover of, like, some of the super old ones, but I didn't actually sit down to read it myself.
I actually bought the annotated Alice and read all the annotations, and it actually kind of scared me. Well, y'all, come along with us. We're going to see if this rabbit hole has a few more stops and take this down a little deeper. One of the first 3 or 4 times I ever had my skirt blown up so far I couldn't get it back down again for a week and a half was ombre leather from Tom Ford, and just exploring how that raspberry became leather and the leather became raspberry again. Y'all, something about the cherry-ish, pomegranate-ish, raspberry-ish fruit scents in here is doing the same kind of magic. Exactly that same kind of magic, but in a very different way as it descends down and it becomes leather and smoke and tobacco and then back again to the fruits. It has way more in common with ombre leather than it does cherry chapstick.
Well, it's interesting, too, because if the pomegranate really normally is super tart, but I don't want to say that this makes it sweet. It just rounds out the tart edges as it switches places.
And that's the brilliant part. That's how it does descend into the leather and the tobacco. You don't have to counter the tartness because it was never there in the first place.
I'm getting more of where the cedar, patchouli, tonka bean kind of lane is. I think at first I thought it was the soap base in here. But now that I'm smelling back and forth, I can really start to see that that's kind of like a sandy colored base. And that's why this doesn't go too dark. Sometimes leather can make it darker, or even that little kind of smoked tobacco thing. But it doesn't. It kind of keeps those sort of as the mid notes, actually.
I am told that Walt Disney himself was not all that thrilled with how Alice in Wonderland came out. And the Sherman Brothers had to recycle a few of their songs they had written for Peter Pan for Alice in Wonderland. I think there was a song that became the theme to Alice in Wonderland that was originally written for Peter Pan. And I love that when Disneyland ran out of room to add rides to Fantasyland, they were like, well, just put Alice in Wonderland on the roof of Mr. Toad. It'll work. Yeah. Catherine Beaumont did the voice of Alice in Wonderland. She also did the voice of Wendy
right.
Peter Pan.
There you
and
go.
She did a lot of live action modeling. So a lot of her movements and a lot of her gestures actually made their way into the cartoon. Disney did a lot of tracing back then. They didn't like people to know that. So it's pretty simple. Y'all just be Alice sitting on the banks of the river, listening to her sister drill her English lessons and getting a little bored with things. You are going to start to daydream, and just about the time you see that rabbit disappear into that grassy knoll, you are going to get your own. So head over to 345soap.com to check out this and a wide range of other cool stuff. Well, I've had my shave, y'all, with Rabbit Hole. There's that bright, floral, clean morning side to this, and there's the darker, opposite, tobacco, leather side. It's like going through the looking glass. I think I've cracked the code, and somehow you are the glass itself, sitting right between those two worlds, and it is a fabulous scent, and in a base that's a little underappreciated, I think, in this hobby. I don't hear this talked about enough for as good a shave as I get from a 345 lather. Thank you so much. We'll be back for our next subscription soap soon. Hey, welcome to Messages.
So for our May giveaway, we wanted to give you a chance to get $25 to Phoenix Artisan Accoutrement.
Yeah, y'all, and all you have to do to be eligible for this giveaway is send us an email here to we sent you at thebarbershopduet.com so we can get back to you. It's the only way we communicate about our giveaways, and then check back here on our first June episode to see if you are our lucky winner.
Best of luck! I am curious what our second one is going to be with the 345 subscription. We had Devour for the last one, but once we know this new one, we'll let you know.
And the email just went out asking what scent notes we might like or whether we want it to be a dupe or an original scent. Stay tuned. And 345, while you do provide some of the richest and most nuanced homages in the wet shaving world, we also uniquely appreciate your original scents just for the width and breadth of where your noses and imaginations take us, and we are here for it. Thank you for doing what you do, and we've got a few more on the piano waiting, so stay tuned.
Don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell better just watching this.